After months of struggling, the Golden State Warriors season was finally looking promising, with them maintaining a big winning streak mostly thanks to Jimmy Butler beginning to finally click with the bench unit. But sometimes not all things can stay good forever, because in one horrific moment it all came to a close. What was supposed to be a year of redemption in the Bay has turned into an absolute nightmare. And we're not just talking about one loss or one bad week. We're talking about one season-ending injury that looks like it may have just completely wrecked the Warriors' playoff chances. On an average Monday night on January 20th, the Warriors' entire season was turned upside down. Jimmy Butler, the star they had brought in to be the final piece to another championship, went down with a torn ACL in the third quarter against his old team, the Miami Heat. While running a play, Brandon Podziemski tried to get the ball to Butler in the post. But as Butler went up to catch the ball, Davion Mitchell crashed into his leg, making Butler land awkwardly on his right knee. The scream was instant. It was that kind of raw, unfiltered pain that tells everyone in the building it's not just a sprain, it's bad, something much worse. As he tried to get up, he couldn't put any weight on it. As teammates helped him to the locker room, the look on Steph Curry's and Steve Kerr's face said it all. The next morning, an MRI confirmed the worst fears, a torn ACL in his right knee. His season was over, and just like that, the Warriors' championship dreams might have just disappeared with it. An ACL tear is a brutal injury for any basketball player. It robs you of your stability, your speed, your explosiveness, and for some players, your confidence. For a 36-year-old veteran like Jimmy Butler, it raises even bigger questions about what his future in the league looks like. With the Warriors during the past season and a half, Butler was putting up 20 points, 5.6 rebounds, and almost 5 assists a game. He was second on the team in scoring, third in rebounds and assists, and first in steals. He was without a doubt their second best player, but his real impact came as part of their entire team's identity. Jimmy Butler is an alpha. He's a leader whose intensity just rubs off on everyone else. As Coach Steve Kerr put it, he's one of those guys in the league who everybody else in the gym knows that guy. That swagger, that unbreakable confidence is exactly what the Warriors were counting on. He was the perfect partner for Steph Curry. While Curry is all finesse and skill, Butler is pure grit, force, and determination. He was the guy who could get to the rim, draw fouls, and create a bucket when the Warriors' offense dried out. Most importantly, he allowed them to survive those minutes when Curry was on the bench. Minutes where the Warriors have historically fallen apart. With Butler on the floor and Curry off, the Warriors were outscoring teams by a massive 9.6 points per 100 possessions. Now, that advantage is gone. They're back to being a team that lives and dies by Steph's singular offensive engine. And here's the part that really stings for Warriors fans. Right before the injury, the team was finally hitting its stride and winning close games. After a shaky start to the season, they had found a rhythm. Before Monday's game, Golden State had won 6 of their last 7 games. They had just taken care of the Hornets to improve to 24-19, climbing to 8th place in a stacked Western Conference. The belief was back. They were starting to look like the old Warriors again, like a team that could make a serious playoff push. This injury didn't happen in the middle of a lost season for the Warriors. It happened when they were peaking, right when the Warriors front office's vision was finally coming to life. It's like spending months building a beautiful house only to watch it collapse right as you're putting the roof on it. The timing couldn't be any worse, coming just 2 weeks before the February 5th trade deadline, a deadline that has suddenly gone from a chance to load up to a moment of pure desperation. The Warriors are at a crossroad. The path they thought they were on is gone. So what do? Do they go all in on a risky trade for a season that might already be lost? Or do they pivot and start looking toward the future? This is one of the toughest spots a front office can be in. But let's be honest about what this means for the Warriors' playoff hopes. Before the injury, Vegas had them as a near lock to make the playoffs. Now, the whole conversation has changed. Can they still make the play-in tournament? Probably. Steph Curry is good enough to drag this team there by himself. But what happens when they get there? What happens when they have to go up against a loaded Nuggets, Timberwolves or Thunder team in a 7-game series? Without Butler, the team's ceiling has been completely lowered. He was their best wing defender, the guy they'd stick on the other team's top scorer in the fourth quarter. He was their closer on offense. Now, all of that pressure falls right back onto the shoulders of a 37-year-old Steph Curry, who was already carrying a huge offensive load. The Warriors' defensive identity, which has always been built on versatility, takes a massive hit with Butler on the sidelines. They just don't have anyone else who can bring Butler's two-way impact. The best case scenario has gone from winning a title to maybe, just maybe, getting out of the first round. The worst case, missing the playoffs entirely if the rest of the team can't step up. So that leaves one massive question. What do the Warriors do now? You would think doing nothing wouldn't be an option if they want to salvage this season. Their only real lifeline is the trade deadline on February 5th, but Butler's injury makes any move incredibly tricky. Do you make a win now trade for a team that might not even be able to win? One name that has been thrown around in trade rumors even before Jimmy Butler's injury is Michael Porter Jr. He's got the size and scoring that could fill some of the offensive holes Butler has left behind, but getting a player like him would mean giving up major assets, like starting with Jonathan Kuminga, who the team may have already been looking to move prior to the Butler injury. The problem is, Kuminga's value might not be enough on its own to land a true game changer. And then there's the huge financial problem. The Warriors owe Jimmy Butler around $56.8 million next season. That's a staggering amount of money for a 37-year-old player coming off a torn ACL. That contract severely ties their hands behind their own back. They could try to trade the contract itself to a rebuilding team that's willing to eat the money in exchange for draft picks, but doing that would basically be waving the white flag on this season and would be a tough pill to swallow. It would signal that this era is truly over, and I don't think the Warriors truly want to do that. Jimmy Butler's torn ACL isn't just a season-ending injury, it's a potential franchise-altering disaster. It didn't just rob the Warriors of their second star player, it stole their identity, their toughness, and their clearest shot at another deep playoff run or a chance at a championship. What started as a season of hope has now become a season of survival. The leadership of Steph Curry and the coaching mind and determination of Steve Kerr are about to be tested like never before. These next couple of weeks before the trade deadline will define the rest of their season and maybe even the final chapter of the Warriors season. The question isn't can they win a title anymore. The question is where do they even go from here? The clock is ticking and the rest of the NBA world is watching. What do you think the Warriors can do to save their season and fill the holes that Jimmy's injury will leave? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more NBA content. Thanks for watching and goodbye.